Hey y'all, welcome to the Style Chronicles. Thank you for joining me. If you have not subscribed, please do, and don't forget to hit the notifications bell. Join me and become a member of my Style Chron community. I really do appreciate those of you who have already subscribed and continue to enrich my YouTube experience. Thank you so very, very much. Today I wanted to share my absolute favorite fall makeup look. I love a dark lip, a dark statement lip in the fall, but I also like statement eyes, and for me the pairing of the two is just a natural occurrence. I make no excuses. More brown, more burgundy tones scream fall, and I like it very, very much. So I thought I would share this with you, and yes, please stay tuned. Before I began, I wanted to share with you what I've already applied to my face to prep, and I have on the Elta MD sunscreen, the Clinique Pore Refining Solutions Instant Perfector Primer, and the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Longwear Foundation. And for my brows, I use the MAC 266 and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Chocolate, and I fill those in. And with my Morphe M441 and the shade Latus from the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette, I start to create a crease, just deepening it up. It's kind of a apricot shade. It really helps my eye have a little bit more definition in the crease area. This is going to be the groundwork for a number of different shadows that I'm going to lay down in order to just help create a better crease on myself. With my MAC 221, I'm going to take the shade Lucius. It's a red brown shade, and I'm going to put that into my crease to deepen it up a little bit more on both sides. And as you will see me do many times with my MAC 224, I'm going to go in and just blend everything together, make sure everything looks even and nicely blended out before I do anything else. With the same MAC 221, I'm going to take the shade Shax, which is a dark matte black, and I'm going to put it on the outer corners of my eye in a very V shape. It's like a sideways V, and it goes in that outer area, and I just really work on building it up, making it really nice and dark black. And with that MAC 224, once again, I'm going to go in and just blend that black out a little bit, make sure everything works well together, meshes, and just looks even. And from the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit by Anastasia Beverly Hills, I'm going to take the shade Star, which is a silver pigmented highlight color, and I'm going to put it on to my lid with my Sigma E55. I'm going to keep it concentrated towards the beginning of my eyelid and just work it in towards the middle, slightly past the middle into that black, just a little bit. And I'm simply pressing and then just kind of moving the shadow around on my lid to make sure that it lays down evenly. And I am going to go in a number of times and just kind of build this shade up. Really, I'm just laying something down before I apply some glitter, and I just really wanted it to have kind of a nice and bright effect there, which is why I'm using a silver highlight, just to make it brighter and more opaque in that area, but definitely more bright for the glitter that comes next. And just so shades don't become too over blended with that MAC 221 and that Luscious shade, I'm going to go back in and deepen up that brown around the outer edges of my eyeshadow look. And this Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Diamond Dust is just simply amazing. I was trying to figure out the best way to show you guys how beautiful it looks on camera, and so I'm just kind of going through a number of different things that I did to try to pick up the glitter, the beautiful glitter dust that you see. It's simply gorgeous. And I really do love applying this to my lid. It just makes everything so beautiful. You can put it on top of dark shadow, light shadow, or the shadow that I used, which is just a bright shadow, so that it layers on top. And with this, I'm using my E55 shader to try and get it on my lid. I did not like the way that that worked, so you'll see me go in with my actual applicator to get it on, because I just feel like the coverage that it was giving me was not enough. It was too, it's beautiful if you want like a very light glitter kind of sparkle effect, but if you want major glitter on your lid, it's better just to use the applicator to apply it. So that's what I went back in and did. And once you have the glitter on your lid, you are going to have to go in and blend it out a little. I'm using the same 221 brush with whatever is left over on it, and I'm just blending a little bit of that glitter eyeshadow line into my regular shadow. It does get a little bit unevenly blended, but you just have to kind of go in and make sure that there's not really a line, just diffuse it a little bit. And with the MAC 221 again and that Shaq's matte black shadow, I'm going to go in and deepen up that crease. I want it nice and black in the outer corners, and sometimes that glitter gets out there and kind of diffuses it a little bit, but I'm going to go in and just make it nice and dark and deep out there for a really kind of blown out look. And with that 221 again and that red brown, that luscious shade, I'm going to go in and redefine my crease area. Make sure that it's really nicely smoked out and just blended right in this area so that it kind of wraps around that glitter, really frames the eye look. It is a lot of back and forth, but you have to do that whenever you're working with multiple kind of browns and blending them together, especially with glitter, because everything just kind of gets lost if you don't constantly refresh it to make it good. That glitter, I'm just blending it into the black a little bit, just making it diffuse there. It's a lot of back and forth, really a lot of back and forth. But in the end, you know, the end look is more cohesive because of it. To save time, I went in with my Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer off camera. I used the shade Fair, and I concealed my lower eyelid and also cleaned up that black shadow that had any fallout underneath there and some glitter that had fallen down. Just to save time, I did it off of camera. I tried to do this on camera. Unfortunately, it didn't work very well, but with the MAC Eye Kohl in the shade Teddy, which is a really pretty brown shade, I lined my waterline and my lash line, lower lash line, just so that the rims of my eyes are really, really dark. But you'll see that this did not work for me, so I had to do it off of camera because it just was, yeah, it was. And with the MAC 212 flat liner brush, I'm going to take that black shade, the Shaq's shade, and I'm going to deepen up that outer corner and apply it underneath my lower lash line, lightly right in there where my lashes meet my lid, kind of. And then right out here, just to sharpen out that crease. It gets lost when I apply my concealer. And with a pencil brush and that luscious shade, I'm going to go in underneath my lower lash line and blend out that black that I laid down. This just makes it nice and smoky. Also brings a little bit of that red that you see around the glitter at the top and wraps it under my eye as well so that it looks nice and evenly distributed and just wrapped, like balanced, if you will. Smoking it out. It also helps my mascara once I apply that because I tend to get it everywhere anyway, so I always end up doing this. And this is a little sample of the Urban Decay Afterglow 8-Hour Powder Highlighter in the shade Sen. I'm going to use that as my highlight and put it on underneath my eyebrows to highlight the look. It's a very bright, I also put it on the inner corners. It's a very bright highlighter, very pretty, and it's just so pigmented and nice and powdery that I'm really liking it as a highlight. And I did go in and contour. I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contouring Powder Palette, or Powder Contouring Palette. I did that off camera to save time. I also went ahead and applied mascara and my lashes. I'm using the 113 lashes by Ardell and my House of Lashes Lash Glue. Went ahead and put those on. For blush, I'm going to use my MAC 168 blush brush, and I'm going to apply the shade Fever from the MAC Blush Collection. It's one of the everyday blushes that they have available. I just have it in pan form. And I'm going to get that onto my cheeks. It is a very pretty blue-based pink blush that is just gorgeous. And to highlight, I'm going to use that same Urban Decay Sen highlighter with my Anastasia Beverly Hills A23 highlighting brush, and I'm going to get that onto the high points of my face to highlight all of the areas that I love to pop and shimmer. It's a very pretty